Committee meeting today, September 8th, 3 o'clock. Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Public notification of this meeting has been published, posted, and distributed in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act, correct, Ms. Brock? I'd like a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Make that motion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lawson. A second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you. And we need a motion to approve the minutes from July 21st, which was our last executive committee.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr.
You are welcome.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Con- Second. The minutes were distributed in the packet, so they're approved. Public comment period, 15 minutes. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment? Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're going to discuss county council rules and procedures. We've done a rewrite, so if everyone wants to turn to that in their packet, we'll have a discussion here. So just to recap, County Council is a policy-making body that provides guidelines to the county administrator regarding how the county is to be run. Council members have authority only when acting together as a body of 11 and speaking with one voice, and no individual member has individual authority over county operations. Again, this council is made up of 11 elected officials that act as a body. Chairperson Howard, our clerk to council Sarah Brock, and I reviewed the current version of our Beaufort County Rules and Procedures Handbook, and then Mrs. Brock obtained sample handbooks from other counties in the state, and also we looked at the Model Rules of Parliamentary Procedure for South Carolina Association of Counties and Robert's Rules of Order, and now we have some proposed changes. So please, if you have a comment as we go through, feel free to say that, and Ashley's going to record those, correct, Ashley? So we can go back and look. And this is your handbook as council members, so it's just, this is our take, Alice, myself, and Sarah, but it belongs to all of us. Okay, so if you go forward, let's see where we start, actually. Yep, start on, it's page 13 in your packet, which is 5 in the handbook. You'll see that it's a red line version, so you can see what's been changed, what's been suggested. So we took out the preamble that's very not standard in most handbooks, and we thought was unnecessary. The ethical principles stayed, as we know, we should all be ethical. And then county council values, we took out, that is not common throughout the state as well. Now I'm down to page 17 in the handout, the packet, which is the table of contents. And of course, that will change as we go through. So the first real change comes on packet page 19, where there's no second required to nominate the chair. We did this last year, but we fixed the handbook here. And no second is required for vice chair. We have on page 20 in the packet, Ms. Howard did appoint a parliamentarian. That's Mr. Bartholomew, Councilmember Bartholomew. So the language has changed to the chairman shall appoint one member of council, not may, because we feel it's necessary to have a parliamentarian. And again, as I announced prior to this, Mr. Bartholomew took the course, and he has studied it dramatically. I took the course, Ms. Howard took the course, so hopefully we're a little more on board. Section E on page 20, the council, so there, you see it's all in red, it was rewritten. And I had a question on the council may, and it's right in the middle, in its discretion, employ the administrator for a definite term not to exceed the term of the council as constituted. That has not been common practice. Anyone want to comment on that? For example, when council turned over, when Mr. Dawson, Mr. Glover, and Mr. Cunningham were elected, Mr. Moore had a contract and it has continued. So that's how I read this. We would not do that to exceed the term of the council as it's constituted, which means this council is constituted through 2026. Correct? Then 8 seats are up. Anybody want to opine on that, talk on that? I would delete it, but that's my question to all of you. I understand no council wants to bind future councils, but because the agreement with the administrator runs July to July, you're going to run into this. Anybody? You all think it should be deleted? Come on, now's your time to speak. Did you ever see everybody so quiet, really? Okay. I mean, I'm suggesting it be deleted. I also, 3 lines up from that, it says the administrator need not be a resident of the county at the time of employment, but I believe council thinks they should be a resident of the county after employment, so I think that should be added. Any agreement, disagreement?
I agree with that.
Okay. So no one else agreed with that term of the council as constituted?
If it was up to me, I'd say take it out.
Okay.
Just, I mean, that's a separate contract in and of itself, and let the terms of the contract govern that.
Mr. Lawson, what do you think?
I agree.
Yeah?
I don't have a problem with it being removed.
Okay, and Mr. Dawson? Okay, if you delete that one. And I'm just going to say this, you know how you read something 52 times and you find a mistake every time after? Okay, I'm tired of reading this one, but I keep finding things. All right, go to page 21 in the packet, powers and duties, that was put in from pretty much SCAC. This is our responsibility as a council. Okay, so I didn't see anything there unless, and you can stop me anytime if you see an issue. I'm on page 22 in the packet. I just wanted to reiterate Part D, that except for purposes of official council inquiries, investigations, the council shall deal with county officers and employees who are subject to the supervision of the administrator solely through the administrator, and neither the council nor any of its members shall give orders or instructions to others. That is very important. Okay, anything else on page 22 in the packet? You guys are being very easy today.
Actually, if you can go back to C, is that just a typo in there?
The 6,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Sorry
That's
about
coming
this.
out. I don't know where that came from,
All
but
right.
it's going away to heaven, right? Okay,
It's going away.
it's going away. All right, anything else? Let's move to page 23. This is about our meetings. You will notice on page 23, we struck the sentence, council meetings will not be delayed due to poor quality unless the issue lies with the county broadcast team. Now, what do you all think about the attending virtually rules? Right now, we require that members must have their video on, they must be visible for the duration of the meeting, and shall not be driving, which now is illegal anyway, but okay. Is it your preference to leave that in or remove it?
I'd leave-
Okay, I tend to want to leave that in as well. Mr. Dawson?
I would leave it in. Right now, the South Carolina state law requires us that we can't drive.
What about the fact that when you're on virtually, you have to be visible all the time?
That should apply.
Okay. Mr. Bartholomew?
I agree that leaving it in, however, I will say, I know that I've had issues, and I think Mr. Dawson's had issues as well, that there could be an exception if there's a technical issue to the video. Yeah, with the,
And possibly when that happens, if you would text the clerk to council, and then she'll have that noted.
oh yeah, I normally scramble
Maybe
to
that.
let her know anyway when something's going on.
Yeah, maybe you want to put that in there so everyone knows if they're having difficulties, they can just text you and it's fine. Okay, Mr. Lawson, what do you think?
I'd leave it in there.
Okay. All right, we did include workshop sessions, and again, this is from SCAC, correct, Ms. Brock? Yes. Because we've been having workshop sessions, and we will continue to have them. So it basically explains how this happens, and the chair can call the meeting. The primary purpose is to present in-depth information, not to take a vote, and it's subject to FOIA. It has to be posted, and it's subject to FOIA. Everyone all right with that?
I would, the only issue that I have with that is the at least 2 working days. I don't know if we could expand that a little bit, because I think we ran into that issue with one of the other workshops. Maybe just give it a little bit larger buffer in there for scheduling.
I think we did run into that with maybe the, one of the
can't remember which
278
one.
ones.
And as far as, I don't, maybe give a week or so, like, just some buffer to fit it into the schedule, because it's something extra, because we adopt the calendar each year, so we have at least a generalized expectation, but a workshop, you know, if the chair can call it at any point, at least giving a little bit of heads up so people can participate.
All right, what's
Yeah, an
everybody else?
emergency, yeah, except for emergencies, yeah.
Yeah, because some people are working, yes.
Yeah, so we
Mr.
need
Cunningham,
something
what do you
about
think?
emergencies.
Yeah, as long as we have,
Okay,
So those issues will still arise from time to time, but even on an emergency situation, you're not gonna have a workshop though on it, most
Yeah.
likely. You can't take any action on it.
no, there's no action taken in workshop.
So what's the suggested, at least how many days before the
Testing.
meeting?
That's too far away. I don't know, I mean, would 5 working days be sufficient, or you think a longer buffer for a workshop?
Let's say 5 working days, rather than just a week, because a week means something else. Let's do 5 working days, except in emergency situations.
Mike,
I think if it's just in general what the topic is going to be, are we talking about a full packet? I guess that would be my question.
Well, it would be just the topic then at 5 working days, right? Just to notify people that we're going to have a workshop on September 15th at 5 o'clock. I'm laying it out there. And so they can arrange their calendars. Business days, work
have
days.
holidays during the working day.
Yeah.
And plus, some people work on the weekends and holidays.
Some people.
Really wonder who that could be.
So we're gonna say business days. Okay.
But just to close that, I mean, in terms of a general topic, 5 days is fine. I think 5, if we want to call it business days. But we do have to post, we still have the FOIA requirement to post the agenda 24 hours in advance.
Correct.
We've had workshops, and we've scheduled them through the finance committee too. So how's that, because this is just saying the chair shall call workshops. I'm assuming that is the chair.
Well, it should say, you're right, it should say the chair
Or committee chair.
or committee chair, and/or committee chair. Because when we get to budget, the committee chair does them, for sure. Right, that's good.
Just a question, where it says notice requirements of Rule 4, where's that referencing? Like, where does it cite back?
It's referencing part of the parliamentary SC.
Oh, SCAC,
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll have to.
Include the citation in that? Okay.
Up session,
You got that?
and you'll see there's a lot of red lines there, and it's replaced with what's from SCAC. It's basically what we've been doing. You may hold the executive session for any purpose permitted by FOIA. And so on, members of the body participating, this is what we've been doing this year. A motion must be made stating the purpose for which the executive session is to be had, seconded and adopted to go in, and may be ended by consensus of the members. We don't take a vote in executive session. If there's any action, it comes out as a motion. So that's just reflection of what we're doing. Any issue with that? All right, I'm on page 26 in the packet. On decorum in speaking, I'm going to hold to this. If you look in that first paragraph, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In debate, each member has the right to speak twice on the same question on the same day and can't make the second speech till everybody else talks. And I am going to hold to that. Some people like to talk 2, 3, 4 times. Robert's rules and SCAC say you get twice to to debate the topic has to be germane to the motion, otherwise it's not going to be allowed. Anybody have a problem with any of that?
I know I've probably broken this myself. So,
Maybe.
Yeah. My thing is, if it's a topic that requires some back and forth, I mean, do we make a motion to suspend the rules, or do we incorporate in there that the chair can relax that? Like, what's the best mechanism to do that? Because there are certain things that require more debate and back and forth and Q&A and follow-up, but.
I would say maybe the chair can opt for that. But
Okay.
what we don't want is Mr. Bartholomew making
Right.
5 times of comments and shutting everybody else out.
Right, no, and I
Yeah.
understand that.
Another member of committee object to the chair's relaxing the?
No.
I mean, do we want to just go back to the regular parliamentary procedure of?
Then you have, a-
Yeah,
then you'd have a vote.
And this is currently
right, I know, I just highlighted in case somebody wants a change.
And then also, here's the other thing, as far as enforceability, who's going to call that in check? Is that me, or is that the chair, or
The chair.
the chair?
Should be the chair, but if the chair doesn't do it, you're the parliamentarian, you can jump right in. Point of order, yep. That's going to be your big job now. Mhm.
Should be easy.
Okay, public comment, this was revamped. It's, public speaking is from SCAC, the model rules. We've changed it to 30 minutes. It used to be 15 before, 15 after, so we've changed it to 30 minutes. It simply reflects our common practice now.
And first come, first served basis.
First come, first serve, and it's 3 minutes limited.
Bless you.
Mm-hmm.
The rule here that you've got typed out says maybe.
It shall be limited to 30 minutes. And then if somebody wants to go over that, a motion has to be made from the floor. So that should be, shall be limited to 30 minutes.
Why do we see the need to extend it?
I don't know. I'm just putting
I
it.
mean, even the natural resources most recently was extended to 45 minutes. I think that was just at the discretion of the chair. That wasn't by vote.
And that was published on the agenda,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. I
Okay,
guess there are situations that'll arise, but we can just do it by motion then, or, if you do it on the agenda.
What was your question?
Now, I asked the question,
why would we do it?
why would we extend it from 15 to 30 minutes per?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood
We had
that.
2 separate 15-minute sections, and we've,
Say that again?
Find the one at the beginning and the one at the end.
So it's just one public comment?
Of 30
Up front.
minutes, that's all we do.
Oh, I thought it was 30 minutes up front, then 30 minutes
Oh, no,
on
no,
the
no.
end.
It's like what we do now. We do 30 minutes up front.
I was thinking you guys were getting ready to bring supper in.
No. You thought we were going to sneak that in on you? No. Okay, so we're good with that. So we're on page 28. Took out it's 2/3 vote, so that stands.
Well, back on page 27,
27, yeah, I already went past that one.
paragraph B,
Mm-hmm.
the current rules don't allow you to pass your time to someone else to speak. Do you want to keep it that way, or do you not want to address it, or would you like to address it?
Where are you? You're on
Is that
page.
B, on page 27?
A speaker shall be permitted no more than 3 minutes to complete their comments.
No. Giving of a speaker's time to another is not
Oh,
allowed.
E.
Like a proxy, yeah.
Oh, E, you're on another, okay, I'm
Right
back
above.
up.
I thought I said B.
There is no E. What are you talking about?
In our conversations, y'all said you were going to take it on a case-by-case basis.
So what are you guys looking at?
Right here on the screen.
Speakers shall be permitted no more than 3 minutes to complete their comments to council. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's the
Oh,
one.
gotcha.
That's what he raised as
Oh,
B.
E, Gotcha,
Crossed out E.
That's what he's saying, E.
gotcha.
so they get 3 minutes, right.
Are you going to address
Sorry,
the issue about
It's
member asked to pass their time to another?
Oh, because we had it above, giving of a speaker's time to another is not allowed.
Right. We
What's-
expect that issue to rise in today's
They
meeting.
did,
So
you were
how do
gonna-
we want to address it going forward?
Okay, what's the preference of this group?
Everybody gets 3 minutes.
Nobody
I
uses a
don't-
POA.
I don't believe. you can call it whatever you want, and whatever title you want to put on it, but a person's time is a person's time. We have other outlets that people are allowed to speak. If they don't feel comfortable speaking, they're more than welcome to write it in, which you've had people do, and we've read before at that request. So,
Mr. Dawson, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we should limit it 3 minutes per person. One person to give their 3 minutes to somebody else, and then
100, right, okay, we got
And
it.
it would probably be best if council wrote that into the rules, to where it was clear and you had a rule to rely upon.
Yeah, take that E, that C and put it back in above. See where it's crossed out? David, what do
realistically,
you
we
think?
could have, even if a development agreement came in, we could have 3 people come in for one topic, and all 3 of them turn their time over to somebody's lawyer, and their lawyer get 12 minutes to speak.
That's a good point, yeah.
David, what do you think? Yeah, it's a conundrum.
I don't know. I mean, you're still limiting the time that is allocated to public comment. Yeah, I do think we've thought about this before, and I think a case-by-case basis, because there may be things that we're not anticipating. Somebody may be incapacitated to a certain degree that requires them to have somebody speak for them.
What about this for a thought? Unless and until everyone else who has signed up to speak has had a chance to speak, then you could let them speak for someone else.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah. I do
If
too.
in the 30 minutes, if there's extra time, the person can speak
Yeah,
again.
because we might only have,
Mr. Lawson, what do you think?
I think that we should not allow a speaker to give their time to somebody else, because again, we're going to have times when we show up and there's nobody to speak, so you're going to have someone that is going to
Speak 15 minutes.
speak all 30 minutes, because
So
they're going
what
to have
you
someone
would-
sign up and say, let me speak for you. Okay, I'll sign up and you can speak for
So
me.
your preference is 3 minutes flat, taking no other time. Mr. Bartholomew?
I still think case-by-case basis. I think I think doing case.
But remember, somebody can always make a motion from the dais
Suspend the
to
rules.
suspend the rules. Are you guys good with
I'm good with the 3 minutes.
no other time?
Yeah.
No other
Good with another
time?
time, I do think that if there's nobody else after the 30 minutes, I think that could be a slippery slope, because if it is a medical reason that they couldn't speak, and you say, oh, you can be the last one to speak, that's almost a disadvantage to that person on top of a already disadvantage. So I would think it would still go in the form of the sign-up. If it is going to be on case basis, I guess my question is that done by the chairman, or is that done by a vote? That's another thing that we need to decide as well. Because just if one person on county council says, I believe that person should be able to speak for 9 minutes, and the rest of us disagree,
It's not going to happen. It's by a vote of the group.
I just want that.
Correct.
If that is going to be the
Well,
way,
that's spelled out.
we should dictate that, because it only takes one of us to say, no, I think that person should be able to speak for all 3.
It requires a motion.
Okay.
It would be in the form of a motion, and then we would up it or down it.
Simple
Right.
majority vote?
That's fine.
Okay, so as I understand it, you want to put E back in.
It was C. I can't read. It's my fault. That's the strike.
Now
It's C, yeah,
It is
it's
now
struck
E.
Oh,
out.
it is now E. Never mind.
Yeah, it's okay, C, we got it. Ashley, you got that right?
I put it back
It's
in
on
as
there.
E, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so are we clear of page 27 then?
No, Mr.
Just real
Lawson has a
quick.
question.
Oh, sorry.
Real quick question, again, just looking at how we've operated in the past. So the disadvantage to being the first come, first served, if someone shows up first and 10 people sign up that all have the same opinion, we then don't hear from anyone from the other side because they're
Well,
first
but
come,
we had a
first served.
if you remember, we had a problem with someone showing up first and then signing other people's names.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't allow that anymore. So it's the order you sign in, and that it may happen that way sometimes.
Okay.
No, I don't think we can for public comment.
Really?
No, I don't think
Where
so.
does it say they have to be a resident of the county
It
for a
doesn't.
public
It
comment?
doesn't.
It would have to be in your rules. Hilton Head's got that in their ordinance, but you don't have.
I mean, I'm going to go to my rules, my rule thing. If you put it in that you have to be a resident, then you have to prove you're a resident. I'm not sure I want to do that
No,
stuff.
I don't,
Puts it back on staff.
You guys?
no.
Honest. They show an ID to buy all kinds of things. I mean, it's the truth.
not to speak.
If you want to make sure that they are who
But
they say they are, signing
Definitely
up,
check my
they're
ID
signing
for
up
me
for
to pay my
themselves.
taxes to be a member of this county.
But what we had was an incident where someone signed up for other people, but we stopped that, so.
This is in line with what South Carolina
You only get
Association of Counties
one
suggests.
sign-in, whether you, in your name, or if you want to use somebody else's name, you only get to sign one line.
I'll give the example, Citizen X shows up and doesn't want to speak, but knows that Citizen Y wants to speak, so they sign Citizen Y's name to speak, and that's not Citizen Y signing in.
That's what happened. They had someone sign up for 4 people. They had,
That's the point I'm making as far as.
It could
you
still
wanna
happen
take a
is what he's
step
saying.
to
it can
prevent
still
that.
happen, yeah.
Or-
It
If
won't-
you're not checking ID, you don't know if that person's actually,
I don't think we can require check ID. And under our current rules, we can't.
Well, we're changing the rules, that's his point.
Yeah, but then you get freedom of speech.
Just, you want the person speaking to, do you want the
There-
person speaking
well, I'll
to have
give
to
you
sign in
another-
or not?
There's another person who says his name is a certain name, and that is not his legal name.
No, they
It's-
just, they may
okay.
not even say anything, they just write someone else's name down
Well,
because
he
they know they
writes-
want to
He
speak.
writes a false name down when he speaks. That's not his legal name.
Well, it's not a false name, it's just on behalf of so-and-so.
Well, actually, people sign in front of her. And
But
she
she-
could
she
say,
may
are
not know
you
who they are."
really Miss Tabernick? I guess you can do that. But,
If you don't want to address it, I'm fine, I'm just pointing out, if you want it first come, first serve, and you want to make sure that the person that's going to speak is the one signing their name, so it's truly the first come, first serve, do you want to take a step to ensure that, is all I'm asking.
I just don't want to put that responsibility on our staff to have to sit there and ask everybody for their
say.
ID. Not everyone may come here with an ID, but I believe that in all of the dealings that we've had with the public, I don't think we've had anyone lie and say they were someone they weren't, but
okay, can we leave that one go?
I do know.
You know who I'm talking about.
All right, the agenda, the section on the agenda that's on the bottom of page 28 in the packet, this is updated, goes to page 29. This is updated from SCAC. And we're going to have to highlight on page 29 that a council member may submit matters for consideration by full council by providing the appropriate documentation at least 7 calendar days prior to the meeting. Is that satisfactory to everybody? They can't do it the day before. And the chair has the discretion to determine if it's on or not. Everybody okay with that section?
Do we need to add chair of county council and
Oh, hold on. Your last sentence there says, "The chair of county council has the sole discretion to determine whether or not an item as submitted meets the requirements of these rules." That's different than saying, "has the sole discretion to determine whether or not to place it on the agenda."
And this is only for council meetings, this is not committee meetings.
Well, you could have the same rule for committee. You just need to make clear who's got the authority to ensure it's on the agenda. And right now, this doesn't address that.
It should be the chair. Unless somebody objects to that. What say you guys?
Well, I agree. I think it should be the chair makes the final decision, because you could have someone that brings up something 7 days earlier that has nothing to do with anything we want to. Yeah, not
do we want to
even,
add chairman of committee wording too?
I think that would be under committees, that's farther down, isn't
All
it,
right.
committees?
So you want the chair of the committee to have the authority to determine what's going to be on the agenda for his committee or her committee, and you want the chair to determine what's on the agenda for council.
I think when it comes to committees, since the chair sits there as well, they weigh in with the committee chair.
Maybe, I just think that we should add that language to that paragraph at the end there.
Because recently we had an issue with that where the chair of the committee
I know we
wasn't
did.
notified, so if that's how we're going to operate.
Well, I don't have any problem adding it in. Anybody else?
All right, so this should say agenda for council and any council meeting, whether it be a workshop, special council meeting, or regular council meeting. The chair of council has the authority. Committees, the chair of that committee has that authority for any such meeting.
On the matters not within council's jurisdiction, does everybody understand what the last sentence means? Because I'm a bit confused. Council may entertain requests that it make recommendations to other governmental bodies, departments, or agencies.
Before we take that up, can we actually go back up to the last paragraph?
Yeah.
I've been talking about this for almost 3 years now. Is there any way we can get this information sooner instead of having a weekend to digest it? It says agenda packets are prepared and distributed on the Friday immediately preceding the council meeting. Backup information
Correct.
on a particular agenda item shall be enclosed in the, I don't know about y'all, but it's a struggle sometimes to get through everything in a.
So at present, just so everybody knows, the administrator and the ACAs have to have everything in by Tuesday of that week. The agenda review's on Wednesday. The clerk to council in her office then has to get it formatted and prepared. I don't know how you can make it any sooner. Having lived through this now, I don't know how you can make that time shorter.
I suggested this before, every year, when we take our break in July, that was an opportunity to get things back on track and give more time and buffer in there, but it has yet to happen. So I think it's a disadvantage to the community. I think it's a disadvantage to have that material ahead of time and actually digest it and review it more thoroughly. Thank God for 3 readings, I'll just say that, but I'm human. I can't digest a 1,000-page packet in a weekend.
Yeah, so you would suggest you receive it when?
I mean, at least a week prior.
Okay, that'll limit what goes on the agenda then, because it can happen sometimes.
That's just my suggestion. I'm just one person on here. I don't know if anybody else has the same issues, but
Yeah, I think logistically, it would really only limit what goes on the agenda for the first time. Because after that, you start to adjust schedules and we start to plan a week in advance. So I mean, yeah, there's gonna be some things that could come up in that week, that span, but the majority of that agenda can be done and approved a week prior.
Mr. Moore? It's good, the responsibility starts with your group.
Yeah, and I would just say, excuse me, if something's been through committee, right, a lot of times we can get it on earlier, because we do right now have, typically 3 weeks between a committee item and council. So are we talking about a fully published agenda or just kind of what we've got at that point?
I mean, I'm fine with getting even just a draft agenda
Let's say, what
earlier.
if it's like a draft, so you can, instead of 1,000 pages, it's only 250 of the unknown of the one meeting that you missed, or the one item.
Right, I think we could get a draft to you all, and there may be some adjustments depending on what comes up in that intervening week. Were you going to comment?
Totally fine. I'm not trying to create a burden on anybody, but it is a burden on us to
I
have
think your
to.
biggest problem is the agendas for the committees, and that's where the first. And I will tell you that the administrator and the legal department have the same problem, where we get jammed the day of and the day before the agenda review, trying to review all this stuff, because they get into us as far as the review process. We did try to start it to where it had to be in, and we did the agenda review earlier.
Tuesday.
And it had to be in and done, and that wasn't working. Staff adjusted to their, so if the administrator is willing, we can start to impose those deadlines to try to get it to you like by Thursday morning maybe, because after agenda review, if it's required, no changes, it has to be done. When you come to agenda review, that's finalized, and that's the agenda going to council. We've got that night to make any last minute changes, and then Thursday morning it gets to you. That at least gives you a 4-day weekend to look at it.
Still a pretty tight pack.
Absolutely is. But it's just a matter of how far back you want to push staff to getting that, because they're already backed up like 3 weeks before the meeting, starting the process to get us through. But everybody that's got to review it on the chain going along is what the problem is. And then trying to work it into their schedules to get the review done is what a large part of the problem is, as far as their availability. And the next person in the chain can't review it till the one before them has reviewed it.
I get it. I get the logistics on it. Like I said, I'm just one person here. I know Logan chimed in. I don't know if anybody else has the same concerns or not, but.
Tell you that I think the administrator might, and I both, would love not to be jammed the day before agenda review or the day of agenda review, trying to get this stuff ready to go.
One comment is our new system has I think, improved our process with Civic Plus. I think the clerk would attest to that as well. So we're willing to give it a try. I just think if we, it's going to put us in a bind at times, and things are just going to have to slide if we can't make these hard deadlines. I guess my question is, is it a week then? You want to draft and really nothing else can get on after that? Just
Recently went from 3 Mondays a month, or 2 Mondays a month where we had the meetings, now 4 Mondays. I mean, so you've spread staff out to where they're split trying to get Mondays ready. So it's every week that we're having to do this with occasionally a week off. So, I mean, staff is jammed all the more often trying to fit this into the schedule.
Good point on that front. And like I said, I'm not trying to make anything more difficult. I'm just airing a concern I've been trying to get done for 3
I
years.
would probably just leave it as it is, just because, again, knowing with finance, and again, we're talking about council agendas right now, aren't we? We're not talking about committee agendas, that sometimes things come in at the last minute, you're trying to get them on, that way you can keep government moving and things happening. And obviously yes, it is difficult sometimes, other times it's not, is to get that done, but again, it's part of our responsibility. I would leave it the way it is. However, if people want to change it, I have no problem against that.
We could leave it the way it is and just absolutely not take any late entries. That's sometimes where you all get jammed up and we get jammed up. And I understand what you're going to say, I already know, but
That's sometimes the problem, but sometimes it's just,
I would say if we could let Mr. Atkinson maybe make a comment, because there's a lot of planning issues that come up, and this could impact those as well.
So it's just a quick question. Are there particular types of items that you need higher lead times on? And the reason I ask that is anything that comes through, the really complex items that come through planning and zoning have to go to the Planning Commission first, which is well in advance of any committee meeting. If we get too much of a lead time between Planning Commission and the following months or even the next months where we have to advertise, it could increase many weeks to get them in advance. So because that information is passed at Planning Commission, if we could identify for staff which ones we're having issue with, not just the big packet, but if there's more specificity to it, we could probably help with that. So.
Yes, that's a good point, because I know the contracts are volumes to review. Not that we don't want to review them, but you get kind of numb to them. So maybe if each council member could be specific about which things they'd like to see less, maybe not less of, but in advance. I know some people do read those contracts, and yeah.
sorry, go ahead. What? Okay. Mr. Dawson, anything on you?
No, I was telling Logan, I'm not on the. I've been on council long enough to see the pressure and the stress that we put on our staff trying to get this. In my opinion, if we try to extend it any further out for them, then we're just compressing them to of a year. I think they'll be burned out. That's why we instituted at the budget process from July. First 3 weeks in July, we take a break, giving our staff a chance and relax, and then before we start the next. All that came about, but all probably weren't privy to that, and us to make this change now, and I think
Any other comment, Mr. Cunningham?
Oh, man.
Have you seen it, Mr. Moore, where they get a draft agenda, council ahead?
I haven't seen it previously. And where I was before, we typically were on the same kind of schedule. Council would typically get an agenda Thursday or Friday before a meeting. So that's what I've typically seen. I don't know if you've seen different.
No, and if you start piecemealing things out, that's a slippery slope to where things are mixed up and everything.
Yeah, maybe the final or not. Okay.
Mr. Bartholomew, anything else?
Nah, it's just, there's no change.
Mr. Lawson?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, then we're on page 31. That will stand request for agenda time, right? A person they have to tell us by 5 PM Tuesday. Okay, the next change comes under appointments, agencies, boards, commissions. The executive committee will review all council, and we will interview requests, at our request, we'll interview people for boards and commissions.
Can we, I'm sorry, go back. One important point about requests for agenda time, we've had too many people recently not bring their backup material until they get to the meeting. And if they're going to present, they need to get it, or we're not going to let them, I'm going to be firm on that. They will not. Backup material. We had that happen during the budget.
They should have to provide the backup material to staff as well, so staff's aware.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It says county administrator, county clerk, yeah. Okay, sorry.
So in other words, everybody presenting needs to have it in the backup material. That's the bottom line. Okay. The next section had to do with this committee would interview candidates for various positions. We've already started that with the ATAX. We went through that. And you'll notice we canceled on page 32, took out all that representation stuff. It's going to be the best person for the position.
Back on page 31, you've got this as mandatory, so you want to mandate that the executive committee interview all applicants?
It says shall review all applications. That was our intent. Yep. Unless somebody objects, that's the intent. We don't have that many usually. Okay, this one, this is page 34, presentations and petitions. This is tightening up what happened the last time. It's 10 minutes per presentation. They have to submit it in advance. They can't veer off the topic. You know, we had that bit of an issue. No comments from the floor. So anybody have any issue with that? We tried to tighten that up. Okay?
I mean, I just, like you said, though, I think the material should be given to our staff by, if we're requesting it by Friday, they should be able to have it into you guys prior to that. I mean, I'm just saying, if we have a deadline, they should have a deadline too. They shouldn't be bringing the material to Sarah that 5 minutes before they're about to come up and speak.
Yeah, we shouldn't have what happened to us last time. They should present the materials before, the Friday before. And they need to stick to the topic or their time is ended. We have what we had last time. All right, I'm going to keep us moving because we're down to 15 minutes. We have scheduled meetings and assignments. We're on page 36. We've talked about this before. All members of council can attend any committee meeting, and if you're not a committee member, you still can vote. And this is how you get assigned to a committee, so that's standard what we did. I'm on page 38. Ordinances. And we've again adopted SCAC model rules, so that's why you see the red line and talking about public hearings required by the Home Rule Act. And you can see all the reasons for those. On 39 or 40, well, 39 going to 40. If you see 40, it says notice for item 7 must be provided once a week for 3 successive weeks and so on. All the criteria is there. That was the fire department and so on. The rest of this on 40 we've had. That's nothing new there. There's nothing new on 41, 42, There's a lot of empty pages here. Conflict of interest, there's nothing new. I'm down to page 47. This is an addition, and this is from the Finance Department. All mileage claims must be submitted within 30 days to be eligible for reimbursement. You cannot submit your mileage December 20th for the year. It has to be within 30 days. Should be monthly. Everybody should do that. One of the council clerk office sends out an email, and you respond with your mileage.
I just have to say, is there a way to do quarterly on that? Because I know that's tough for me sometimes even to do it
I'm going to
monthly.
ask the Finance Department that question.
For the mileage reimbursement claims, it says submitted within 30 days of eligible for reimbursement. I typically don't submit too many of them, but do what? Well, I was saying, is there a way that we could do it on a quarterly basis?
At the
Our travel
rules.
policy also has 30 days, so. we
Okay.
have to update that.
No, that's fine. I mean, if it's already a policy for 30 days, that's fine. Like I said, I don't really do too many of them anyway, but
Okay, so this will stand. Okay, and then there was additional expenses. We changed the word taxi to additional. So you're on page 48. There's no change there. And that's that. So we will have, Ashley will update your comments. This now goes to the Finance Administration Committee, and then it goes to full council.
Madam Chair, I do have one more thing, and I'm sorry, I know we got another agenda item, but going back to chapter 4 with the standing committees and ad hoc, we kind of skipped over it, but are we okay with everybody that's not on the committee being able to vote versus?
Well, we decided that last year. I mean, unless you want to change it,
I
speak
mean, I
now.
just didn't know if anybody had an opinion on that versus, attending and discussing versus the voting aspect.
If you're not on natural resources and you come, should you be able to vote on the item? That's his question.
I'd like to hear Councilman Dawson's opinion, because he remembers it being the other way.
Well, there's an advantage and then there's a disadvantage, in my opinion. The advantage is the committee members have all the detailed information, difference of opinions. Non-members who are not on that committee, we come in and we're hearing it sometime for the first time. You all packet and everything, we're hearing it for the first time. You also get to weigh in, ask questions, and then vote also. So I'm good either way. I mean, whatever.
Cunningham?
Yeah, my biggest fear is you can stonewall something. So
Okay.
if a committee, a group of 6 of us, 7 of us, can dictate what happens to the rest of the 11 when we all got voted to represent all of Beaufort County. So that's my only downfall. So when I first got on, I believe that's right when you guys switched it. And to me, like, one, you go to the meeting just for the information, that's great. You can have the dialogue, but there's a lot of things that could be shot down in a committee that would have passed on the council floor. So I don't have a problem with us voting. I don't think it's a requirement for everybody to come to every committee meeting if you're not on it. I believe you should be here. You should be present if you're on that committee. You signed up for it. That's your obligation. If you come and it's not your committee and you've taken that time, I believe we've earned that right to vote when we got voted on county council.
Let me just jump in as well. I agree with Logan. I think that everyone that shows up should vote. I think that's why our council meetings have actually been quicker and faster, is because a lot of things get vetted then in the committee meetings, as opposed to having to wait. I remember previous to that, we would then have the same arguments happen again that could have happened in committee during a council meeting. And I think if you made it that it was only committee members could vote, I think you'd have less people show up at meetings, and you'd be then having fewer people or fewer council people at those committee meetings.
Well, I've watched our municipalities, they only vote if they're on the committee. And if you show up and you're not on the committee, you don't sit on the dais. That's what the municipalities, some of them do. I haven't watched Port Royal, I don't know what they do, I just know Bluffton and Hilton Head. So, because that avoids what Mr. Cunningham's talking about. If you have 8 people sitting on there, we could stop something right then, and so it's really not equitable. So we could make it so that if you're not assigned to the committee, You come, but you're not sitting in the dais. You can hear.
Like I said, I'm not tied to any one way in particular. I just know I've heard discussion in the public about that, and I wanted to just get council members' feedback on it rather than skipping over it.
The only thing I can think of that a committee could kill, potentially, would be a contract within their delegated authority. Everything else should be a recommendation to council.
Right. Well, we will put that'll be an item we discuss with Finance Committee then. Okay, get the full opinion there.
Could I just ask a question? You keep
Yes,
referring
sir.
to you've adopted the South Carolina Association of County Model Rules of Parliamentary Procedure,
Yes.
but on page 28, we still say that they're following Robert's rules. Where are we adopting South Carolina's rules?
That has to be in there. What page is it? 28 of the handbook? Let me go to the page 28, because it's not 28 in our packet.
Paragraph F, Parliamentary Procedure?
Yeah, it should say South Carolina Association of Counties as well.
Which takes precedence?
South Carolina Association of Counties, Robert's Rules is on the bottom. And that's what parliamentary procedure told us too. The state, and then the county, and then your local, and then Robert's Rules by default. If nothing else is there, you go to Robert's Rules.
Yeah, because Robert's rules isn't always applicable to
Correct.
some of our discussions.
First will be your model, your own rules of procedure. Second would be the county's model rules of parliamentary procedure.
Correct,
Third would be Robert's rules.
correct.
Gotcha.
So good catch, that has to be in there. That's page 28, letter F. Okay? All right, the last thing before our committee is a non-disclosure agreement. This was brought up by several council members, and the purpose of the item is to initiate discussion among council as to whether to implement this NDA as a tool to strengthen confidentiality practices. And you can read it, it's pretty standard, and it's used in a number of councils across the state. Anybody have a problem with having an NDA to discuss? Dawson, nothing, Mr. Cunningham? I mean, generally, if it's confidential, it shouldn't be discussed, and this simply says you agree to that. Mr.
So what if someone decides they're not going to sign it? Does that mean they can't hear the information?
I don't know that.
Elected official, you can't exclude them.
Yeah,
So then the whole thing's pointless.
parliamentarian.
I'd actually have to agree with Logan on that one. I don't know if that's even enforceable across the board. It may be,
It's just a morality.
Okay, well, we'll bring it up at finance, and we'll see what people say. The last thing.
I don't email back.
What? Last thing on our agenda are members to the Low Country Board, Workforce Development Board. You have Darwin Cleveland, Julie Washington, and Quindara Grant. And we're going to bring that to reappoint them to terms from July 25 till June 28. Question, comment? Okay,
Oh, man.
all right, then, if there's anything else on the handbook or anything else?
We need a motion for the reappointments.
Oh, okay.
They are
We have to make it,
under
yeah.
this board's purview, or
I will
under
make
this
that
committee's
motion.
purview.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham.
Second it for all three?
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. And all in favor, raise your hand. Mr. Dawson, are you with us? Okay. All right, thank you. So that ends the committee meeting. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure he was with us.
What time we come back?
4 o'clock.